My name is Sarah Kitakule. I'm the chairperson of Uganda Women Entrepreneurs Association Limited, which is UWEAL, an association that brings together women in business or women who wish to start, are growing, or they already have large businesses. I think there's a lot that Africa can do, and I think it's an opportunity for Africa to be feeding the world. Fortunately for us, we have the tropical climate, which in many instances cannot be replicated elsewhere. So we have that opportunity. Secondly, of course, we grow most of our foods organically, and the world is moving away from pesticides. Thirdly, we have original food. Yeah? You know, we still enjoy food that is not tampered with. So I think that gives us a lot of opportunity. And I think what Africa needs to do, first of all, we need to work together as the African Union to make sure that we can even aggregate what it is that you are trying to grow and export abroad. Secondly, we need to build our infrastructure, because if we are going to be a powerhouse for agriculture, we need to have infrastructure which enables us to actually grow food and export it or process it around the African continent. Fourthly, of course, we need to start growing commercially, because most of our agriculture producers or agri-producers are smallholder farmers. So I think we need to be able to say, how do we actually pool our land resources together so that we can utilize technology and be able to grow commercially. So I think that is the only way we are going to meet the quantities of food that are required to feed the world. Be able to enable our women to do the right thing when they are producing for agriculture. They need to have the technical skills to grow the food in the right way, and also to store it or to dry it in the right way, to process it in the right way, to add value in the right way. So all that is capacity that we are trying to build. Secondly, we are also trying to build their capacity to look at agriculture as a business, not necessarily something for them to just grow food for, agriculture produce for food, or to be able to, when they finish the season, then to sell everything and not be able to retain anything for their own consumption. So we build their capacity for the technical aspects of growing, but also secondly, to build their capacity to manage agriculture as a business. Thirdly, of course, access to finance. We are like an intermediary. We are a source of information whereby we link up with the organizations that are providing financing for agriculture specifically, but also for women, because right now there are lots of opportunities for women to access finance, specifically those that are in agriculture, either farming or adding value to agriculture. So we provide that information to the women. They are able to network together in the different clusters, and also they come together to get information on where they can go to get technical knowledge, but also to get access to finance. That is our main contribution for women who are our members. First of all, Africa needs to learn to create their own homegrown solutions. I know sometimes when you're talking about partnerships, the tendency is now to look abroad. Where are we going to find these partners? But I think what we need to do is to find our own homegrown solutions. And I must say that there is now a movement, especially among young people who are coming from university. They are really designing solutions. Like the other day I met a young man who has designed a solution to supply fertilizers at a cheaper cost to farmers in the rural areas. All you need to do is become a member. You have that app, and then when you need to order inputs or fertilizers, you make your order and they'll deliver it. So I think we need to have homegrown solutions. But of course there are other partners like the World Bank, the IFC, the agriculture, FAO, agriculture organizations, and so many other international NGOs that are interested in agriculture, because agriculture is also linked to climate change and the protection of the environment. So now there's a lot of interest there. And I think we can tap into the resources like climate finance, but utilize it. But most of all, our research institutions need to link up within the continent. Our farmers need to link up. Our businesses need to link up on the continent itself so that we develop Africa-grown solutions. We do get support like from Trademark Africa to enable our women, first of all, learn, become digitally literate, because many of them may not be digitally literate. And then, of course, we are also engaging with other organizations. How do we bring down the cost? Like with NITA, the Uganda Communications Commission, and the providers like the MTNs and Airtels. We want to see how do we bring down the cost of smartphones, because it's the main gadget that most of the rural women are going to use, but most of them cannot afford smartphones. Although there are other solutions that do not require a smartphone, but I think that they will get a lot more value if they had access to these gadgets. So we try to engage with these people, and of course including government, because the main infrastructure has to be developed. The backbone of the digital era has to be developed by government, including the rules, laws, regulations, making sure that people are safe when they are online, and that even when people trade online, they are not actually defrauded. But women now can actually access, we have a digital platform which is called Osoko that has been developed to facilitate women trading among themselves within the region, the Africa region. So women are able to, like if you are a sale of maize, or you are selling pulses or cereals, and you want to export your cereals to Malawi, example, you can upload and seek information as to what would like to buy. That's the vice versa. If you want to import something from Southern Africa, you will be able to find buyers, and the women will be able to trade among themselves. I think there are so many other solutions. Even the European Union is coming up with a program in the digitalization, skilling of both women and youth, and men and youth also inclusive. We have tended to make sure that when these programs are being developed, they're actually gender sensitive, that they take into consideration the issues around women. For example, if you're talking about digital solutions, you know that in Uganda, majority of the illiterate people are actually women. You forget about the fact that there are more women who are going to school or higher education. When you go to the lower end of the spectrum, there are more women who are not educated. So if we are going to be able to move into the digital era, remember, and yet they are the main producers. They are the ones who go to the gardens. We want to make it easier for them to be more productive, and also to reduce the burden of work on these women. So all these things are taken into consideration when we are designing these programs, because they do consult us. I know not all of them cover it, but of course the work of advocacy and lobbying to make sure that women are included when they are designing these policies continues. I want to encourage our women, first of all, to look at agriculture as an enterprise, as a business. Agriculture having the potential to actually transform their lives and that of their loved ones. So we need to start taking agriculture seriously, and not just doing it for the sake of getting food, just the food that we eat. But if we are going to take agriculture seriously, we also need to know or to learn to work together as a group. I want us to have women operating along the entire value chain, not as individuals, but as groups, as companies limited by shares, or as cooperatives or associations, so that we are able to produce, first of all, larger quantities to meet the demand that there is. For example, I'll give you an example. They want goats in the Middle East, or we've just finished the ED. And a friend of mine in Mauritius was telling me we are looking for 20,000 goats to be slaughtered during the ED holiday. People in Mauritius, even the way the island is formed, they cannot look after goats. But I cannot find 20,000 goats in Uganda. It's going to be very difficult for individuals to actually be able to put together. It's going to be very difficult unless we work together in cooperatives, in groups. That is the only way we are going to enhance our productivity and be able to produce in the quantities that the buyers want. And that is my call to you as women. Please, it is better to be together. It's better to work together. And it's better to own a small thing over a big thing than to own a big thing over a very small thing. So we need to work together in order to produce and to run agriculture as a commercial enterprise. Yeah, there are women that are successful who are now, there are women now who are adding value. Like if you've heard of the Rena beverages, these are women who are making a hibiscus drink, they are making wine. So we now have a number of women who have moved away from just being smallholder farmers who are actually expanding, but also who are working with groups of women to produce what they need. So she trains women in hibiscus growing and then buys from these women and is able to produce what she wants. You've heard of Professor Goodla. I mean, she has an entire value chain of young women and men whom she's working with. You've heard of women who are doing vocational institute. You know, Malaika. Have you heard of Sparkle's Saloon? I mean, this is a woman who started her salon at Lugogo Mall. Now she has a chain of salons and she's employing so many women. But in addition, she has started a vocational institute. So we have women who are also, businesses, but also who are social entrepreneurs. That means they're giving back. But we have a lot of women now who are moving away from being tiny micro enterprises, and they are moving into small and medium. I just gave you those 3 examples.